In this tutorial, we are going to be learning how to cut and sew an A-line dress with cut together sleeve, just like you are seeing on your screen. Hi, my name is Oluwatosin. If you are new here, you're welcome, and to all my returning subscribers, you're also welcome. Thank you so much, guys, for always stopping by my channel. I made this simple yet beautiful A-line dress, and I just thought to take you guys through the process of cutting and sewing this dress from start to finish. So if it sounds like what you're interested in, come along with me. Here is the fabric we are going to be working on. This is a 2 yards of lace that has length of 62. It is a very lengthy lace, and basically here are the measurements required to achieve a dress like this for anyone at all. So firstly, you are going to be folding this into, remember I told you this is just 2 yards. We are working with 2 yards. So I folded this into four. I cut out the full length. This person's full length is 57. I added 2 inches allowance to the length, and basically that's it. So from the part that is not open, you are going to start measuring your one to the other side. So firstly, I'm measuring the shoulder. This person's actual shoulder is 15 divided by 2 is supposed to be 7.5, but because it's a cut together sleeve, I'm just going to be using the whole length of the fabric, which is 15. From there, I'll proceed to measuring the round sleeve. A round sleeve is 13. I'm going to be dividing it by 2. It gives me 6.5. Then I added 1 inch allowance. The next thing to measure is the bust. So to be sure of where the bust is going to be in case I don't know, just have to go back to measuring the armhole. Our armhole is actually 19, but at this point I'm going to be marking 8.5, which is 17. So from the 8.5, I'm going to measure 2.5 inches downward. So after 8.5, I'm going to measure 2.5 inches downward. This point is where the bust measurement is going to be. Then I'll divide our bust by 4 and add 2 inches allowance. I'm adding 2 inches because this fabric is very stretchy. If it wasn't stretchy, I would have added 3 inches allowance. But in this case, I'm just going to add 2. Then from that bust point, I'm just going to measure 5 inches downward. This is the waistline. This just gives me a clue on where to mark my bust and my waist and all of that. So from this bust point, go downward with 5 inches. On the point of 5 inches where the waist is going to be. So our waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance as well. After this, we'll proceed to measuring the hip. So from the waistline, measure 9 inches downward. For a tall person, for somebody that is not too tall, that has probably a length of 54, 55 as an adult, you should use 8 inches. So I'm just going to use 9 inches, and on that point, I'll be measuring a hip divided by 4. But this time around, I'm adding 3 inches allowance to the hips, not 2 inches. The next thing is to connect all these points together. Then I'll pick up my straight ruler and just connect it straight down to the whole length of the dress, just like I did. After this, I proceeded to cutting it out. So when I want to cut this part, I'm going to go down with 1 inch. I'm not going to cut on the marking. I'm just going to go down with 1 inch. This is because of the shoulder line. I'm still going to remove 1 inch from the shoulder line. The next thing to do is to mark a neck. I'm using neck width of 6 divided by 2 is 3, then neck depth of 1 for the back, and it's a round neck. So firstly, I'll proceed to marking the round neck for the front and back. I'll cut it out. After this, I'll slant the shoulder. I actually slanted the shoulder with half inch, not 1 inch. So I slanted the shoulder with half inch. Just proceed to cutting that out as well. When I'm done, I opened it up and then I pushed one aside. The one I pushed aside is the back. We are done with that. Then I'll proceed to cutting the front neckline. The round part of the front neckline is 3 inches in length as well. So I'll just mark two. You know, we already marked one. So I'll mark two and then I'll trace it out. After this, I'll mark 2 inches for the circle part of the neckline, so to speak. So I'm just going to mark 2 inches and proceed to drawing the circle, and then I will just gently trace this out. I hope I'm making sense. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So when I'm done cutting the neckline and I open up this piece, I'm going to have something looking like this. And we are done cutting. The next thing to do is to start sewing. So to sew, I'll face the right side of the front to the right side of the back, and I'll start with the shoulder line. I'm joining the shoulder line first. Please, if at this point you are still with me, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. if you find this video helpful or interesting. So moving to our sewing machine, like I said, we are going to start stitching by joining the two shoulder lines first. When we are done doing this, the next thing to do is to pipe the neckline. To pipe the neckline, it's always easier and neater to start from one shoulder line that is joined to the other. So we'll pick up our bias. The right side of the bias is facing the right side of the fabric now. Then when you want to start, please fold your bias so that it be as neat as possible. Don't just start using the bias like that without folding. So after folding inward with like half inch, you start from the shoulder line, right side is facing right side, and then I went round the neckline. Then when I was done, this is where we had at this point. The next thing to do is to flip it inward and then you sew across the neckline, just so the second time, the normal way you use bias to pipe. Then when I was done doing all of this is what I have. The next thing to do is to fold the round sleeve. So I'm just going to put the two sleeves together at this point. Just arrange the two sleeves on each other, and then on the shoulder line you go inward with 2 inches. This is just me trying to slant the sleeve before folding it. So just go inward with 2 inches and then you connect it downward the way I did and proceed to cutting this out. After doing this, the next thing to do is to just stitch round the round sleeve. After doing that, the next thing to do is to shape. To shape now, the right side has to face right side. You start by measuring the round sleeve. This person's round sleeve is 13, just like I said at the beginning of this video. So I'm going to be dividing that by 2, then I'll mark that point. Then for the body of the dress, I'm just going to shape inward with 1.5 inch. So from up to down, just mark 1.5 inch as you proceed. Keep marking 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch till you get to the hip line. From the hip line, you can just take your hand out so that you can maintain the A-line shape. So I did this to one side of the dress. Then I proceeded to doing that to the other side of the dress. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. It is a very simple, easy, and quick tutorial. And basically, after all being said and done, our dress is ready. And this is the outcome of the dress, guys. I just proceeded to attaching bra hook to that tiny parts on the neckline, and basically that is it. Thank you so much for sticking with me from the beginning of this video till this point. I hope someone finds this video helpful and interesting. Please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask me in the comment section, and please don't hesitate to share my video. I mean, your soulmate, you don't know who this video might be helpful to. Thank you so much for being with me from the beginning till the end of this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.